The weight of a secret can be unbearable, especially when that secret carries with it the desire and uncertainty of a future that has never been revealed. Perhaps you have felt this before: the stifled silence, the evasive glance of someone close to you, and the discomfort that overflows from a conversation that abruptly got cut off. Sometimes silence is not just the absence of words, but the cry of something that cannot be said. And when it finally emerges, the impact is much stronger than the absence could have ever been. Today you feel this as you look into the eyes of someone who is part of your family, perhaps a sibling or a cousin. He is hesitating, and you notice this with the clarity of someone who already knows the signs of someone who cares. But what is it that he isn't saying? What is he keeping to himself? And more importantly, why does he seem so determined not to reveal what he is about to say? He who has never been a big fan of secrets now seems to carry a weight, a burden that can no longer be ignored. You sense that he is on the verge of sharing something important, something that could change everything, and you don't know whether you should wait or take action. He has been getting closer, with a fixed gaze that seems to seek something beyond the simple act of being together. When it comes to feelings, there is a fine line between revelation and exposure. He knows this. That's why he is lost. The words always seem to slip away before taking shape. What he doesn't realize is that you have already noticed. You start to understand that he is fighting against something bigger than himself, something that perhaps even he isn't quite sure what it is. Love can be confusing for everyone, maybe for him even more so. He has never been one to share his emotions, always keeping them in a protected sphere. But for some reason, things changed with you. He hasn't realized it yet, but this secret is building a story where he is the main character. This secret is not easily spoken, no matter how many times he has rehearsed it. But gradually you feel that you are getting closer to the truth, because his gestures don't lie. The way he looks at you, the manner he draws near, even the words he chooses, all of this is part of a code that you're starting to understand. And deep down, you know he is no longer fooling himself. He's not trying to hide what he feels. He just doesn't know what to do with it. Now the burning question remains: is he going to tell you, or will he keep hiding? Is he waiting for you to be the first to bring it up? Or does he think it's better to keep everything to himself, even though silence becomes a growing pressure in his chest? Either way, this situation cannot continue for much longer. The secret has become an unbearable weight, and he can no longer hide the truth. What he doesn't know is that you've already noticed him, and what he doesn't understand is that perhaps you have something to say too. What do you feel for him? Have you thought about it? He doesn't know, but your hesitation might be just as big as his. But unlike him, you know exactly what you need to do. You just aren't sure how you will do it. Will he be ready to listen? Or is his secret so vast that it will destroy everything between you? Perhaps this is what he fears. The fear that by revealing what he feels, he risks not just the relationship they share, but also the family balance that has until now seemed perfect. The truth has this ability. It transforms everything it touches. Those small everyday things can become a whirlwind when the truth comes to light, but perhaps, just perhaps, this secret is the key to finally making sense of it all. He doesn't know it, but maybe what is being hidden is precisely what he needs to break free from the fear that holds him back. It's not a matter of courage, but of understanding what truly matters. And perhaps by opening his heart, he will find a freedom he never imagined. Could it be that what he fears is ultimately what will save him? The secret he guards with so much tenderness and apprehension might be exactly what brings him even closer to you. Because when you love, even the most difficult secrets to share can, paradoxically, become the greatest gestures of trust. It's like an invisible thread connecting two people until the right moment arrives and the secret is finally shared. And when that happens, perhaps you will discover something you never noticed before, that you were waiting for the same thing, but were afraid to be the first to act. Now imagine for a moment what this revelation could be. Picture his look, the sigh that escapes when he finally speaks the words he has been holding back. Will his secret surprise you? Or will he simply reveal what you already knew but lacked the courage to confront? Either way, the truth is closer than ever. The silence that hangs between you is heavy, almost tangible, as if the air has grown denser because of everything left unsaid. You watch every movement he makes, and even in the simplest things, there's a tension that has never been there before. The way he sits, how he averts his gaze when your eyes meet, all of it says more than any words could express. And you begin to realize that this silence is not only uncomfortable for you, but for him as well. He is on the verge of breaking. Each passing day without him opening up, without him sharing this secret, feels like another weight to carry. He can't pretend that nothing is happening anymore. The desire to tell, to finally release everything he's been holding inside, seems to grow stronger by the day. And you, as someone who knows his signals so well, understand that the moment of revelation is approaching. No matter how much he tries to delay, the secret needs to be unveiled. But there's something curious about this whole situation. While you perceive his signs of fear, you also feel something more, a mix of hope and pain. He is afraid of losing what he already has, but at the same time he longs for something more, something he perhaps hasn't even dared to imagine yet. Because deep down he doesn't know how you feel. He doesn't know if his feelings will be reciprocated or if by opening his heart, he will simply lose what he's always had. That is the dilemma. You also feel the pressure of this uncertainty. With each interaction, a piece of the puzzle falls into place. He has always been a person of few words, but now even his gestures seem to carry a message he can no longer ignore. Should you be the first to take the step? Is he waiting for some kind of signal from you? Doubt eats away at him, and he finds himself at a crossroads. On one hand, there's the pain of never revealing how he feels while keeping the relationship as it is. On the other, there's the uncertainty of risking everything for something that until now seems impossible to realize. Maybe he doesn't understand that, in reality, you carry this doubt too. You also feel the weight of an unspoken secret, but you have the impression that his revelation is what will open the doors to everything you have kept inside. But he doesn't know this, and with each day he hesitates, the fear of losing the bond you share increases. You can see him struggling, and as much as you wish he would take the initiative, something inside you twists. Because the fear isn't really about what will happen after the revelation, but about what would happen if he never spoke up. If he allowed this secret to grow within him, feeding a silence between you that would become unbearable. And at that moment, the pain of not saying anything, of not acting, starts to feel more painful than the revelation itself. However, the dilemma isn't just his. What he doesn't know is that his secret isn't the only one. You also have something to reveal. Something that until now has been a shadow hovering over your own life. A part of you that hides, perhaps waiting for him to open up first. Maybe it's time for both of you to free yourselves from the weight of the unspoken. Your story with him has always been marked by a silent complicity. He has always been by your side, but at the same time there has always been something unsaid between you, an empty space that neither of you dared to fill. You are afraid to take the first step, just as he is, but maybe this is the exact moment. The fear that if the secret is finally revealed, everything will change and things will never be the same again. But the truth is, they are already changing. What once seemed stable, safe and familiar is now becoming increasingly unpredictable, and somehow that is what frightens you the most. But is change really what scares you? Or is it, deep down, the unknown that makes your heart race? What is it that he fears so much? He is afraid to expose himself, to lay his feelings open to a response that may not be what he hopes for. He fears losing something that he might already consider too precious. But the irony of this situation is that by not opening up, he risks losing even more. The opportunity for something genuine, real, that could be built from mutual trust. You feel that while he grapples with his own internal battle, you are also stuck in a cycle of uncertainties. What will happen when he finally speaks? How will this change the dynamic between you? And will you be able to handle his truth in some way? Or will the revelation of romantic feelings distort everything you've shared up until now? Perhaps the central question is this: who are you really when you stop hiding how you feel? What happens when the secret ceases to be a burden and becomes the key to a new chapter? The answer can only be found when both of you allow yourselves to confront the reality of what you mean to each other. When at last the words stop being written in silence and become something real. Now, he is closer to speaking than ever before. Doubt and anxiety hang in the air, as if both are waiting for the word that will finally break the silence. What will he say? How will you react? What will change from the moment the words are spoken? And most importantly, what will his reaction be when you also reveal what you have been holding in your heart? The future, no matter how uncertain, begins to take shape before you, and everything depends on a single moment. Maybe it's now, maybe it will never be. But, in any case, the secret he has been keeping for so long needs to finally be set free. The moment of revelation seems to be drawing near, and the world around you appears to slow down, as if time has begun to synchronize with the rapid beat of both your hearts. With each passing day, the air between you becomes denser, more charged with unspoken expectations. His gaze, which used to divert more frequently, now remains fixed on you, as if he is waiting for something, as though he hopes you will be the first to take the step. He is prepared, even if deep down he still doubts the response he might receive. You feel you are on the brink of something big, something that could change everything between you. And yet a part of you still wonders if it's worth it. You know he is struggling against something much greater than simply revealing a feeling. He is battling the fear of risking what is already comfortable and secure. The fear of losing the trust that has always existed between you. The fear that by expressing what he feels, he may destroy not only what he has with you, but also the harmony of the family, the peace that has always reigned in your relationship. But, as the days go by, you realize he is getting closer. He isn't going to hide what he feels anymore, and you know this. However, maybe what he doesn't understand is that the secret isn't a form of protection. He thinks he is keeping everything safe, locked away inside him, but in reality, it's that secret that's putting everything at risk. His fear isn't unfounded, but it isn't enough to keep things the way they are. The revelation has to happen, not because he wants it to, but because there's no way to carry this weight any longer without it becoming unbearable. You also feel the weight of this, not only because of his expectations, but also because of what this might mean for you. What do you feel for him? Do you have something to say as well? Doubt grows within you as you watch how much he is struggling. He is on the verge of opening up, of telling everything, but you are also getting ready for what comes next. Perhaps his revelation is just the beginning of something much bigger, something you both will have to face together. Love is never simple, but it also never comes without the pain of discovery, and the pain of discovery is sometimes necessary for something real to bloom. What's at stake here isn't just your relationship, but the very understanding of who you are to each other. And in this very moment, you know that the words he is preparing to say are not just about him. They are about both of you, about what has been lived and what can be built from this truth. The secret he keeps is a burden, but it is also an opportunity. He still hasn't realized this. He hasn't yet understood that by sharing how he feels, he can release something much greater, something both of you need to move forward. But the choice is his, and until he decides, fear and doubt will continue to dominate. You don't know whether to push him to talk, to simply wait, or to finally take the lead yourself. And as this doubt consumes you, you realize that the answer doesn't lie in who speaks first, but in how both of you handle what will be said. What he feels cannot be ignored, but what you feel can no longer be hidden either. What you have between you cannot continue to be a shadow. It needs to come to light so it can transform into something true and real. He is still struggling. You can see it in his gestures, in the words he almost says, in the sentences he begins and then falls silent. He feels the weight of what he is holding back, but at the same time, something keeps him from moving forward. Is it fear, or is he waiting for something from you? Perhaps he is hoping that you will be the first to commit to the truth, so that he will then feel more secure in doing the same. The truth is that both of you are in a game of patience, but time is running out. It's not a matter of waiting for the right moment, but realizing that the right moment has already come. Fear can no longer dominate. If you want something beyond what you already have, something deeper, more real, both of you must take the risk. And for that to happen, one of you needs to take the first step. You look at him, and for the first time, you don't just feel the weight of the secret. You also feel the possibility of something new, something that goes beyond fear, beyond insecurity. You know that when the truth is spoken, things could change, and as much as the unknown frightens, it is also what can bring freedom. He needs to understand this. The secret he is holding is creating a prison, an invisible barrier between you. The truth, no matter how difficult, is the only thing that can break that barrier. You might be wondering then, what will happen when he finally opens up? And even more importantly, what will happen when you do the same? Will what's between you be able to withstand the revelation? Or will things never be the same after that? The fear of losing what you have, the fear of the unknown, has always been the biggest force keeping you both trapped here. But perhaps when you finally let go, you will both discover that there's nothing to lose, only something to gain. And maybe, after all, the truth is the simplest thing of all. No matter what happens, from the moment you both open up, Something new will be born. The secret he has held will no longer be a burden. It will be the key to something truer, something deeper. And maybe that's the biggest risk of all, the chance to finally be free. Do you have a secret too? Share your story.